talking about publishing, what I have right here for you today is Tupac's publishing deal, the actual paperwork. Diddy just gave back Bad Boy artists their publishing. I have something exclusive for you right here, Tupac's original publishing agreement. Let's break this down. Let's get into some of this straight game.
Life is like the cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button notification. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's very much appreciated. And like I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be that little bell notification right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, what I have for you today is Tupac's original publishing contract. And the reason why I bring you this is based on the fact that Sean P. Diddy Combs just gave, from what I'm understanding, the majority of the high profile or successful acts under Bad Boy Records, he just gave them their publishing back. But what I want to do is shed a light on Tupac's publishing and how he did his and how important the move that Sean P. Diddy Combs just made in regards to giving the Locks, Biggie, Faith, 112, and hopefully all of the other artists they're publishing back. So check this out. So Tupac's publishing deal, his publishing deal was basically done back in 1993, if you will, right? Actually was done on January 1st, 1993. And so most people don't understand that when you do a publishing deal, right, your publishing is not the same thing as your copyrights, if you will. Most people get that, confused. Publishing is generated from your writers, the person who writes the song, and the person who produces the song, right? But your masters are something that an artist usually signs away once they do a record deal. And the masters are the copies of those finished recordings, right? In which the producer, they pay the producer fee and he gets his publishing cut and so on and so forth. So those are two different things. And most people don't understand that the reversion clause, or basically copyright termination clause, is section 17 USC 203, 304C, and 304 D, if you want to look that up. And basically, after a certain period of time, you can file to have your copyrights reverted back to you. But in Tupac's situation, this is very interesting, and I'm going to basically read you the contract, Tupac's contract, in regards to that, so that you understand what Tupac did. This is very, very important because most people haven't seen this. And like I told you before, that Tupac, if you look on back all of his records, it has Warner, Tamberlane, Interscope, Pearl Music. Remember, I told you when Tupac got out of prison, and when Tupac went to prison, he was still signed under Interscope. And this is one of the things that Tupac actually put up to basically guarantee his bail when he was bailed out of jail. And when he went over there to masquerade as an artist under death row. This is very, very important. So the assigner is Tupac Shakur. The assignee is Warner Tamberlane Publishing Corporation and Interscope Pearl Music. So remember, Tupac was bailed out by who? Atlantic Records, Warner Brothers, right? And Interscope, Jimmy Iovine and them. When he went to prison, remember I told you, this is the actual contract and why they did the deal that they did like they did it. It was based on this long-term publishing deal where the money is generated, right, that they had with Tupac. The portion that Tupac was going to give up was an undivided 50%, as you see, right? And it says, for valuable consideration, a signer hereby assigns, transfers, sets over, and conveys to a signee an undivided 50% of all right, title, and interest in and to the musical compositions or fractional interest therein listed on the annex schedule, including the copyrights and proprietary rights therein and in any and all versions of said musical compositions, and any renewals and extensions thereof, whether presently available or subsequently available as the result of intervening legislation, right? In the United States of America and elsewhere throughout the world, and further including any and all causes of action for infringement of the same, past, present, and future, and all proceeds from the foregoing accrued and unpaid and hereinafter accruing. This assignment includes the exclusive worldwide right to administer 100% of the said compositions or fractional interests in accordance with the co-publishing agreement of even date herewith between the assigner and the assignee, in witness whereof the undersigned have executed foregoing assignment as of January 1st, 1993, and it's signed Tupac A. Shakur. Very important, and I'm going to break this down just a little bit so that you understand. So now, the most important part about this is not that they, for valuable consideration, they got a piece of Tupac's publishing, right? For 50% of his publishing. Because I'm sure 9 times out of 10, they gave him some money, you know what I mean, for valuable consideration. But the most important part is where it says, this agreement includes the exclusive worldwide right to administer 100% of the said compositions that Tupac owned, like 100% of his publishing. If he did something with somebody else, they may have a publishing deal with somebody else, if you will, from that perspective. Yes, and like I said, once again, this is how publishing deals are usually done. Like I said, exclusive information here. Tupac's publishing agreement, signed January 1st, 1993. So like I said, a lot of people, man, they get it confused as to the information that I was giving out. But I'm only dealing with facts. You know what I mean? I'm dealing with facts, factual information, and hopefully, you know, artists or people who listening to, you know, my channel and so on and so forth would be able to learn something from that perspective, like I said. And notice it's an undivided of 50%. So meaning, you know, this is 50%, meaning 50%. So Tupac basically owned 50% of his publishing, right? And Warner Brothers, Tamberlane Music Publishing, and Interscope Pearl Music own basically 50% of his publishing. And so, like I said, usually, and this agreement is still held today. They still own that 50% of that publishing. You best believe that. You know what I mean? And I mean, like I said, when most people think about, you know, if you think about a person like Tupac and the success that he had, a 50% publishing deal is not a bad deal. Like I said, once again, more importantly, now what you got to understand is, and this is where people usually had got it wrong. They were saying, well, when Tupac went to jail, how come Interscope left him in jail? They actually didn't leave him in jail. This right here goes to show you the financial interest or benefit that they would have in having gotten Tupac out of prison, right? And they did that once his appeal was won from that perspective. And when he did that, like I said, when his appeal was won, they could then now bail him out of prison. And basically what Tupac put up was the rest of his publishing from that perspective, that other 50% of his publishing, basically to help guarantee his bail, and that they would be recompensated. Warner Brothers, Atlantic Records, and Interscope would be recompensated for the money that they put up for his bail. So like I said, most people don't understand that, but this is very interesting, man. Like I said, you get a chance to see like how for the people who don't know, for the people who know or who think they know, if they've ever signed a publishing deal or so on and so forth, But this is the Tupac Amaru Shakur's publishing deal, and how his assignment involving his publishing was turned over. Another important part, when you think about it, this is not for just the United States, where it says basically all versions of the said musical compositions and any renewals and extensions thereof, whether presently available or subsequently available as the result of intervening legislation. So meaning that any laws that the government could come up in regards to artists and dealing with artists, legislation and so on, it wouldn't affect this agreement. They thinking long term. And then it says, in the United States of America and elsewhere throughout the world, and further including any and all causes of action for infringement, meaning if they have somebody infringe on Tupac's publishing or rights or whatever, they would have the ability to be able to collect money and file a legal action involving that situation. So yeah, like I said, man, here it is in front of your face right now. Tupac's publishing agreement. Like I said, once again, don't get it twisted when you hear people, if they can't really put two and two together as to what it says and what it means in regards to, like I said, the Tupac situation in Death Row. Like I said, you see once again, Interscope Pearl Music. That's why Interscope got Tupac out of jail. They stood to make money. You know what I mean? Warner Tamberlane Publishing, Warner Tamberlane's Warner Brothers, and Atlantic Records was owned by Warner Brothers at that particular time, right? Which they used another entity under their umbrella to secure the bail for Tupac to go and masquerade as an artist over there at Death Row, which was a brilliant thing. Like I said, once again, and shout out to Suge for being able to have Death Row, to, to, them thinking of Dre and everybody who, and even in the inception of Death Row, DOC and all of those guys, like I said, and what it became later on. So like I said, yeah, Tupac's publishing assignment, man, his publishing agreement, and how it went down on January 1st, 1993. Your boy DELRAY, straight game.